guys, good morning everyone. My name is Tahir Jaliawala and I'm a physiotherapist from Physiofunction and I'm your level 4 instructor for today. So I'm really looking forward to today's class and I hope you're all watching and excited about it. So today's class is a challenging class, guys. So make sure you are at the correct level, okay? So in order to attend this class, you should be able to start walk with a quad stick or a trekking pole inside and outside the house, and you should be able to do the exercises in standing without any support, okay? So I do understand that some of you might not have had any therapy or any rehab or not done much exercises for a while now. So it is okay for today. I've just kept like a chair nearby me so you can lean onto it, or you can lean on the wall if you need to, if you're getting tired or you're losing your balance, okay? But the important thing is, guys, be safe, make sure you don't fall. That's very important, okay? So in today's class, we are going to do is we're going to do a 5 minutes of warm up, and then we're going to do a few exercises for around 19 to 20 minutes. They should be at a 1 minute each, and we'll take a little break in between as well if needed. And then we'll do a warm up and a cool down, okay, for 5 minutes again. So the first one we'll do is we'll start with a warm up, and we'll start with marching on the spot, okay? So everyone just keep lifting your legs up nice and high, and if you want again, you can hold on to something, but you don't have to if your balance is good, okay? So it's really good for your balance, and also we're just warming up ourselves. So keep bending that knee. Brilliant, fantastic. And I've started the timer on, so it'll tell me when it's 5 minutes. So we're just going to do a few warm-up exercises to that, just to ease up, to relieve the stiffness, and just getting in the form for doing exercises. So now we're going to start moving arms a little bit. So you can move your arms a little bit forward, opposite arm, opposite leg. Remember that, guys. Sometimes some people can have problem with coordination. So really good if you concentrate on this and really think about moving that opposite arm and opposite leg, okay? Brilliant, fantastic. Keep going, guys. And if you are watching this video today, please make sure you like it so we know you are watching it, or just pop a comment at the bottom so we know you're watching it, and put your name as well and where you're watching it from, okay? Brilliant. And now we're going to do a little bit of punching up in the air, okay? Good. So to be able to come in this class, you should have some good movement in your leg, and you should have some movement in your arm. So you might be able to do a little bit of lifting up, but obviously if you don't have that, you've got very good movement in the leg and not much movement in the arm, don't worry, you can just do as much as you can. So you can just do with the other hand, it's at least good, okay? And make sure you coordinate that with the other leg, all right? Brilliant, fantastic. Keep going, guys. Okay, now we're going to do some twistings. So you still keep doing marching on the spot, but this time you're going to do some spine twist, okay? So you just rotate. So what I'm doing is rotating on the leg which I am marching on. So if I'm moving my left leg up, I'm twisting on my left side, okay? So again, people with coordination problem, this might be a good one to practice. Brilliant. If you've got family member, they can correct you, or if you've got a mirror, make sure you do this in front of a mirror so you can see yourself. Okay, we're going to do a few times. Good. Now I can feel that burning in my hips. That's good. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to do some stepping forward and back just to loosen up that hip. Good. So you take a big step forward and big step back. What I've done is I'm just holding on the chair nearby me, just because if this is your affected leg you're standing on, then your balance might be a little bit compromised. So make sure you do hold on something, okay? But if this is your good leg, you don't have to hold anything, and you can just keep stepping forward and back, okay? If this is your affected leg, then make sure you do as much movement as possible in a straight way rather than going from outside, okay? If you struggle, do as much as you can. All right, now we're going to start using your arms as well. So I'm going to lift my arms up as I step forward and lift my hands down as I step backwards. Fantastic. Good. Brilliant. Keep going. We're going to do a few more. Okay, now we're going to do opposite leg, okay? So I'm going to step forward and step back. Step forward and step back. So remember guys, if this is your affected leg, make sure you step forward with your heel down first and step back with your toe touching down, okay? So it's really good. You get that pattern. I mean, some of you might have foot drop, some of you might have weak ankle muscles, so it really varies. But just practicing that and thinking about that in your mind will be really good activity and practice for you, okay? And this will help you in walking. So just stepping forward and back. And now we're going to do is up and down, up and down. Fantastic. We've just got a couple of seconds left. Brilliant. I'm just going to pause that. Okay, just going to make sure. Fantastic. Just wanted to make sure the video is working. This is my first time on live. Okay, so we're going to start now some the active session, okay? So we're going to do one exercise for a minute, and then we're going to have a little break for 30 seconds. So I've paused the timer for now, and what we're going to do is, first one is, as I mentioned yesterday in the video, make sure you've got some weights and a few props nearby you, so you can do exercises properly with that. So what I've got is, I've got some can of beans with me. Obviously, everyone's at home, you might not have weights with you. So if you've got cans of beans, what we're going to do is, you keep that around your chest level, and you push that forward and back, okay? Fantastic. Now, some of you might not have enough range in your arm. So what we're going to do is, you're going to try and grab that in your affected arm. You're going to hold it with your good arm, and then just move it forward and back, okay? Obviously, if you can't hold that, you can still hold both your hands and push it forwards and back. Again, we're going to do this for a minute. So I'm going to start the timer now. Brilliant. Okay, so timer is on. We're going to do this activity for a minute. So keep going forward and back. Now, for some of you who can hold the cans of beans, I'm going to do that for them. So you hold the cans of beans, and then you just push forwards and back. Good. Make sure you're not swaying back, guys, because sometimes some people can do that, okay? So make sure, if that's the case, then what you can do is you can stand against the wall or just lean against a chair or something. Make sure the chair is safe, okay? Good. Make sure you widen your feet so you can balance yourself once you do this activity. I'm going to do that now for someone who can only hold one side, so you can do it this way. Fantastic. Good. Keep going, guys. We've got 10 seconds left. Lovely. Perfect. So you have to take care, guys, if you've got painful shoulder, okay? So now we stop there, and the next one we're going to do is stepping sideways with your arm lifts, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hold a stick. If you can hold a stick, if you can't hold a stick, don't worry about it. You can just hold your hands. And I'm going to so I'm going to stand in the middle here. I'm going to take a side step and do a little twist. Side step and do a little twist, okay? Twist and twist. Again, so let's start, okay? So I'm going to do for people who can't hold a stick. So if you can't hold a stick, don't worry about it. You can do it holding your hands. And you twist on the opposite side where your leg is going on, okay? So if I'm stepping on my left side, I'm twisting on my right side. And there, okay? Perfect. That's brilliant. Good. Okay. So, great. Keep going, guys. So nice and big step sideways. And again, if you feel like you want to hold something, you don't have to twist. You can hold onto a chair or something and just twist with your one hand. Okay? Great. Brilliant. But make sure, guys, you are safe to do this. Good. So I'm just going to do, we've got 1 second left. And stop. Okay. The next exercise is a squat. So again, you're going to hold your hands, you squat down, and you lift your hands up. Obviously, if you are not, if you haven't done many squats before, then you can just do a little squat, but remember to lift your arms up, okay? And remember not to bring your legs, knees too much forward, okay? So arms up and squat down. So remember guys, whilst you do the squats, you lift your arms up, okay? So time starts now. Ready, steady, go. Perfect. So you squat down, lift your arms up. Good. You squat down, lift your arms up. So what I would do is guys, just concentrate on your squatting down and think about there's a chair behind you, a little bit further ahead of you, okay? Imaginary chair, okay? And you're trying to sit on that chair. So you're just trying to perch your bottom on the chair, okay? So think about that and you will get your bottom right back. So I'm going to show you from the side. I'm just bringing my bottom as far back as possible, okay? So obviously I'm not doing that deep squat. Good. If you want, if you've got good arm, if you've got good grip and arm strength, you can hold a stick and lift it up. Fantastic. That way. Okay? Good. But important thing is guys, you concentrate on your squats. Lovely. So we stop there now. The next exercise we're going to do is we're going to do a shoulder flexion. So again, we're going to have cans of beans. So either you can have one or you can have two, and we're just going to lift it up and down. Lift it up and down. If you've got one, you just do it with one and down, okay? So ready, steady, and go. So hold it and lift it up. Perfect. Nice and slow guys, nice and easy. Feel that shoulder working, okay? If you feel any pain guys, I wouldn't recommend doing this a lot, okay? So you can just lift it up till you feel the pain is starting off. So just work into a pain-free range. So lift it up and bring it down. Nice and easy. Lovely. If you don't have any shoulder pain, you can lift as much as you can. It would be a nice stretch for your shoulder muscles, but you need to be careful if you've got pain, okay? Great. So lift up and down. Now, another thing some people can do is, some of you might have elastic band. So you can keep the elastic band on your feet. You can hold it with one hand. With the other hand, you can lift it and just lift up as much as possible, okay? Now, some of you might have different type of elastic band. That is fine, okay? All right. So the next exercise, guys, we're going to do is we're going to stand in one. Basically, I'm going to stand with my one foot in front of the other. Okay? So you're going to stand in that position. For this one, you probably need to hold on to something because this is a challenging position. This works your balance, but it's a bit challenging. So if you can bring your leg in front of the other, that's great. If you can't do that, don't worry about it. You can bring your leg a little bit to the side, okay? So just forward, but to the side. And what we're going to do is, we're just going to touch down and come up. Touch down, touch your front toe and come up. If this is your, if your balance is great and you don't need to hold anything, you touch down and then you come up with both hands. Touch down and come up. Whilst you're doing this exercise, guys, you could bend your knees, okay? Again, important thing is, guys, you stay safe. So make sure if you need to hold on to something, you do hold and come up, okay? Lovely. So time starts now. Down and come up. Lovely. Down and come up. Nice and easy. Down and come up. When you come up, guys, make sure you tuck your bottom forwards. So you go down, touch the floor, and when you come up, chest up, bottom forward. Down again, touch down, bottom forward. Brilliant. Down and up. Down and up. Nice and easy, guys. See how many you can do. Make sure you do nice and slow. Down again and lift up. So you've got 15 seconds left, guys. See how many you can do in 15 seconds. Possibly 3 or 4 or maybe more. And back up again. Great. Down and up. If you want to hold, you can just touch down and relax. Okay, now we're going to do with the other leg forward. So again, same position and same way we're going to do, but this time other leg forward. Also guys, remember one thing, you don't really have to touch the floor. I can touch the floor, so I'm reaching to the floor. Some of you, I'm just gonna, good. So some of you might be able to go down this much, that's okay, all right? So just go as much as you can in a safe way. But the important thing is when you come up, push your bottom forwards, make sure your chest is upright. So touch down and come up. Lovely. Touch down and come up. And if you're struggling with your balance, guys, what you can do is you can increase the distance between your feet. So you can bring your foot a little bit outside to begin with and do this exercise. And eventually, with during the next couple of weeks, few weeks, we can monitor that. You can monitor it yourself, and you can see actually, when I started it, I was doing this, and now I can stand with my feet a little bit more together. So that's a good progression in itself, okay? So make sure you write down these things, what you're doing now and what you're doing today, so that it's for your own reflection and for your own progress. And stop. Okay. So the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to do some press-ups, okay? So now for this press-up, you will need either a wall, okay, or you need a chair against the wall, okay? So I'm going to use a chair, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands on the chair. I'm going to step at a good distance from the chair, and I'm going to do a press-up. Push and straighten up. Push and straighten up. So guys, remember one thing, when I do this exercise, I am pushing my hip also forward. So we're not doing this, okay? We're not doing this. We are pushing forwards and straightening elbows. So obviously if you can't use this arm, you can hold both the arms together. You can pop up and secure that arm with your good arm and push and straighten up. Push and straighten up, okay? So I'm going to start the timer now. Okay, so hold that, push and come up. Push and come up. Now the reason, guys, I have put the chair in front of a wall is that sometimes your dining table chair or your, these kind of chairs are very light. So they are, if you're pushing on it, it can shift forwards. So if it's against the wall, it's nice and secured, okay? And you can do the exercise safely. Now, if you don't have a chair or if you don't want to use a chair, you can keep your hands on a wall and you can just do push-ups on the wall as well, okay? If you've got a corner, that's fine. You can use the corner to do this exercise, okay? Remember one thing, guys, this goes in front of my chest. It doesn't go over my head, around my head. It goes right in front of my chest. I push and straighten up my elbows. I go close and straighten up. Okay, now we're going to stop there, and the next exercise we're going to do is lunging forward and back, okay? So again, I put the chair in its position. So I'm going to step forward, and then I'm just going to bend down as much as I can and come back, okay? So make sure your good hand is on the chair if you want to, and then down and up, okay? Now some of you might be able to do a deeper lunge, which is fine, but some of you might be able to just do a little lunge, which is still okay. Do as much as you can in a safe way, okay? So I'm going to start the timer now, and we're going to do this for a minute. So make sure you just keep doing with your one leg, and in the next minute we'll do with the other leg forward, okay? If you don't have to hold on anything, that's fine. You can hold on to your hand and come up. Hold on to your hand and come up, okay? Now if you've got good range in your arm and it's not sore, whilst you do the lunge, you can lift your arm up and bring it down. Lift your arm up and bring it down. Lift your arm up and bring it down, okay? So this way you are making use of your arm as well. And important thing is, guys, that sometimes when you do exercises, you have to do a combination of your leg and your arms. So you do involve your affected arm in your routine, and this will help you during walking or other exercises, okay? All right, now we're going to stop there, do the next leg forward, and we're going to bring the other leg forward and do the exercises with that, okay? So same thing again, if you want to hold something, you can, or you can just bring your leg forward and lift your arms, okay? So it again depends on you and how you feel today doing the exercises, okay? So let's start. Go and down. If you can't lift your hand too high, don't worry, you can just lift as much as you can. Great. Up. Brilliant. Good. And guys, when you do this exercise, make sure your feet are pointing forward, so your toes are not rotating. So when some people do this, their foot is pointing out, and do that, this is not going to help, okay? Make sure your toes are pointing forward and you do this. So in order to do this, to work on your quality of the movement, you can hold on to a chair, okay? And do that. Good. If you don't want to hold, that's again okay. Perfect. We've got 5 seconds left. Good. Keep going, guys. Brilliant. Fantastic. So the next exercise is punching forward and back. Now some of you, if you don't have enough movement in your hand, you can just do this, but quick, okay? This is a cardio activity, so we need to get that heart pumping, okay? I know by now your heart must be pumping. Mine is. And if you want to have a glass of water, guys, make sure you keep a bottle of water next to you. Make sure you sip and just keep pumping forward, okay? If you don't, okay. So we start now. If you want, if your arms are good, you've got some range in your grip and your hand, you can do some punching holding cans or beans, okay? If you don't have a great grip, don't worry, you can just hold in one hand and do as much as you can in the affected hand, okay? Good. And if you don't have great movement in this affected arm, you can just do what we're doing before, but make sure you do a little bit quicker. Be careful, guys, if your shoulder is painful or you've got like a sublux shoulder or chances of dislocation. Just be a bit careful with these exercises. You have to do it in a very pain-free range, and just be a bit mindful when the pain comes, you stop the exercise. Okay? Good. We've got 3 seconds left. Good. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So next what we're going to do is touch the floor and lifting your arm up, okay? So for this one, you can do it many different ways. You can just touch the floor and come up. You don't really have to touch the floor. You can just go down as much as you can and lift your arms up, okay? Good. For this one, this is not like squat, so you can have your feet a little bit together and down and come up. Or you can hold a stick and do the same exercise with the stick. So let's start. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Fantastic, guys. Doing really well. Make sure you comment below to tell us how you got on with the exercises. Great. And if there's any particular exercise which you felt you didn't quite do it right because of some balance problem or because of some pain, do let us know and we can try and advise you in a correct way, okay? So make sure you do comment underneath how you got on and how you are doing with the exercises. Great. So make sure again for this one, you push your bottom out, okay? We've got 10 seconds left, guys. Come on. Do as much as you can. Lovely. Great. Again, you don't have to lift your arms up quite a lot. Do as much as you can. So, The next one we're going to do is this is the last one, guys. This is sit to stand. So I'm going to sit in the chair for this one. You sit in the chair, ideally in a chair without an armrest. But if you don't have one of these chairs without armrest, you can use whatever you've got. And make sure you sit a little bit on the edge of the chair and your knees are bent. So my ankle is a little bit behind my knees. And I'm going to join my hands and I'm going to stand up, straighten my bottom, upright chest, and then I'm going to gently sit down, okay? So stand up. When I stand up, my knees are straightening, my hips are popping forward, and my chest is up, my arms are coming up, and then I sit back down, okay? So we're going to do this, but before we do this, guys, I really would like you to write down how many sit to stand you can do in the next minute, okay? It is important for you and your progress, so you can record it, so you can take it, write it down in a diary right now, and then maybe after 4 weeks, 6 weeks, don't know how long this is going to last for, you can write down again and compare it. And if there's even like progression of 1 extra sit to stand, that is a really good achievement, okay? So I'm going to start the timer now, okay? So let's go. Up and down. So I'm going to count mine and make sure you do count yours as well. And if you want, you can put under the comment how many sit to stands you've done, and it will be a little bit of competition going on there. So that'll be great. You always like that. I will tell you mine, how many I'm doing. Like I'm kind of, I've forgotten now. Okay, so make sure your feet are pointing straight, and when you stand up, you're nice and upright, working on those glutes. So really squeeze those bottom muscles, straightening up yourself, lift your chest up, and lift your arm as much as you can. One of the things you can do is you can hold on to a stick and do that sit to stand. Okay? Great. And we got 2 seconds left. Come on, guys, and stop. Lovely. Okay. Now, that's the end of the active class. What we're going to do is we're going to do some cool down. Okay? We're going to start with some stretches, and for the stretches, I would do the stretches in the chair. So make sure you have got a chair nearby you, okay? So if you want, you can have a glass of water, guys. Have a drink for yourself, and yeah, so you can even have some, you can add some squash in your drink, okay? Brilliant. Okay, so now what we'll do is, great. Okay, so the first stretch we're going to do is for your arms. So you hold your affected arm, okay, and stretch it out as much as you can. Be careful if you've got subluxation or a dislocated shoulder, okay? I would like you to not do this stretch. You can just come out as much as in a pain-free range, okay? Yeah. And if you don't have shoulder pain, you can stretch out, give a nice stretch. You should feel some nice stretch in your muscles. Good. And you're going to hold that for a few seconds. Good. If you're getting tired, you can bend your elbows and start back again. But try to hold it for at least 5 to 10 seconds. Okay? And bring it down. Okay. Now the next one we're going to do is your elbows are straight. You're going to hold your hand and we're going to lift it up as much as possible over your head. So if you have good range in your shoulder, lift it up over your head. If you don't have, just go as much as you can. So probably to here, okay? And hold it there. You can hold it for a few seconds. Again, be a bit careful if you've got shoulder pain. Do it in a pain-free range. And bring it down gently. Okay, so this was the next one. And then after that, we're going to lift it up probably around your chest level and bring your arm in. So obviously some of you might have a heavy arm or a very stiff arm. So if that's the case, you can even try to hold your affected arm around your elbow, which makes it a little bit easier, and you bring it in, do a nice stretch, good, hold it there, and do not twist your trunk, okay? So keep upright, look straight, and just work on your hand. Great. Brilliant. Okay. And we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. Obviously, it is important to work your good arm as well, okay? So if you can't do that on your affected arm, that's okay. Just do good movement on your good arm. If you can do on your affected arm, that's absolutely brilliant. Keep rolling, and we're just going to roll backwards now. Good. We've worked on these muscles today, guys, by lifting, by twisting. So you just need to cool down. And when you do cool down exercises, just do these exercises slowly and gently, okay? You're trying to get that heartbeat down. You're trying to get, your blood cooling down a little bit. Good. Okay. Now we're going to try and do some stretches on your legs. So with your good hands, for example, left hand is my good hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook. This leg will be good, so you can lift it up. So you can lift the leg up and hold your knee, bring your knee into your chest, okay? Stretching your back hip muscles. Do not do this exercise if you have got any hip replacement, okay? So you can avoid this exercise and move to the next one. If you don't have any hip replacement or any hip fractures, then you can do this exercise, all right? Good. So you hold that and hold it for probably 10 to 15 seconds again. Good. So we've done quite a lot of squats and bending down and lunges. So it will stretch out your glutes and your back hip muscles nicely. And down. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So this is my affected arm, for example, and I'm going to hook my thigh under my elbow. So I'm going to lean down, hook it here, and then lift it up, okay? If you want, with my hand, I can hold on my affected arm as well, okay? Or if you don't, you can just leave it here. So this will be a good one. I'm not wearing trousers, but if you are wearing trousers, you can lift it up with the trouser as well. With some of you, you should have good, range and strength in this leg. So you should be able to do that. But sometimes some people might have some hip weakness, so it might be a bit struggle. So you can either pull it up with your trousers, or you hook it around that way. And again, hold for 10-15 seconds. Okay. Now you step out. So this is again my good leg. I'm going to take a nice big step. I'm not moving my right leg, and with my good arm, I'm just trying to stretch out my inner thigh muscles. Okay? Good.
Activity completed.
So stretch as much as you can and bring it in gently. Do the same thing with the other leg. Okay? And for the other leg, if you want, you can help with your good arm. Stretch it out as much as you can. Great. And use your good arm to push it out as well. Make sure you don't move this arm, because sometimes if you move this arm, you lose the stretch, okay? And bring it back. Now the last stretch for today, guys, which is a really good stretch, is you sit on the edge of the chair, make sure you're safe, stretch out your one leg, so I'm keeping my heel on the floor. I'm just going to go back, I don't know if you can see me, stretch out my heel and my knee straight, and I'm just trying to slide my hand down my leg, my shin, trying to touch my toes, okay? You should feel a nice stretch in your calves, in your hamstring. You need to stretch that good leg as well. Very important, guys. So this is a good stretch for you. And in your good leg, you should be able to lift your toes up, okay? So when you lift that up, you feel added stretch to your calves. So hold it there. If you can't reach your toes, don't worry. Just do as much as you can. And again, be very careful if you've got hip replacements in this leg, okay? And bring it back. We do the same thing with the other leg. So you stretch out. Obviously, it depends on how is your foot drop. You might not be able to lift the toes up, but at least stretching out, you're straightening your knee, it will be a good stretch for hamstring at least. And to get this stretch effectively, make sure you sit on the edge of the chair. Make sure your heel is down. Sometimes if you're not sitting on the edge, your heel would be hanging up. So that will tell you, and your knee will be bending if you keep your heel down. So you're not in the right position. You have to come forward and stretch out as much as you can. You can use your fitted arm to add that extra stretch. Good. And I'm going to come back up. Brilliant. So I hope you all enjoyed, guys. Make sure you do comment below and let us know how you found it. If there's any feedback for us, make sure you do let us know so we can improvise for the next week, okay? Thank you so much. Till then, goodbye.